right.
Yeah.
Here we are.
All right.
Welcome back
Here we are.
to Game Powerhouse. We've got Fire Emblem Free Houses run by GretaIceVixen, and we have two commentators alongside that. So if you guys like to introduce yourselves, and yeah, go ahead, take it away.
I'm Greta. I've been running this game
Alright,
for
hi,
10
I'm
months, I
Greta.
think.
I've been
And
running this game
yeah, I
for
have my
10
friends
months, I
Razor
think.
and Sean here with me.
Yeah, I have my friends Razor and Sean here with
So
me.
my name is Razor. I also have run this game. I primarily speedrun Pokemon, but I've also run this a bit.
What's up? I'm Sparkle. I have not run this game in a speedrun sense for any sort of time, but I drew that Mercedes in the top left, so I'm a pretty important guy. So yeah, I'm just here to balance out the equilibrium.
Yeah, so Razor and I basically made this route together, and Sean is the reason I even ever played this game. So
and Sean is the reason I
we're
even
here.
ever played this game. So we're here. Right.
Yeah, so we're gonna use New Game Plus for this.
Yeah, so we're gonna use New Game Plus for this.
Alright. I think we're good.
Alright. I think we're good.
Alright, time will start in 3, 2, 1,
Time will
go.
start in 3, 2, 1, go.
We get to sit through a bunch of cutscenes.
Now we get to
This game is really good about those.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, are we naming Byleth anything special?
Alright, are we naming Byleth anything special?
I think there was an incentive for it.
I think
Greta.
there was an incentive for it.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Is
Oops.
Greta able to mute herself
Okay,
because you're
oh.
duping on the stream is the problem.
Oh.
Just on your stream.
Yeah.
That's it.
That should be
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Alright. I guess that's good then.
So why'd you pick the female avatar, Greta?
Wow. I'm so okay. Anyways, yeah, no, we're picking female Byleth because we're going to be using a gender-locked class that lets you fly around, and you can't do that if you're the male Byleth. And obviously, flying around saves a lot more time than walking. So
Yeah, flying is busted in this game. You just get to go all over the place and ignore terrain that would normally block you if you're on foot.
And also gives you a lot more movement,
Stay focused.
That too, yeah.
which will come into play a lot throughout the run.
yeah, for a lot of these, we're just gonna fly to the end, and then that's it.
That's right.
That's the perk, is most of these maps, instead of actually having to beat every enemy, we just beat the commander and it's done.
Yeah, there are a lot of map objectives in this game, but for this route specifically, especially for the later parts of the game, a lot of the objectives are just beat the boss and that's it. So you don't have to care about any of the other enemies in the entire level. Just kill the boss and you're good.
Careful now.
Alright. There's
Oh, the many skipped scenes.
You're going to become very friendly with the start button when you play this game.
yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, I think it's like a third of this is just loading, because this game is they really did great with it.
So why the crest of flames and not the traditional running bar with the Byleth at the bottom?
Yeah, so if you saw, you probably didn't catch it, but we're doing this on New Game Plus, so I used a file I already had to make this file. And that file was saved not at the very end, it was actually saved right before the very end. Because it's a weird glitch in this game where you have this loading screen instead of the one where like Violet is running across the bottom. And this one's actually faster, and someone just happened to find it one day. And so that's what we're gonna do.
Wow, I did not know that. That's pretty insane. I
Yeah.
have no idea.
It saves so much time.
Yeah.
Like, also, you'll notice when she moves here, she's gonna zoom in toward the ground, which reduces the lag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of parts of this game, hopefully we won't get stuck right here. No, we didn't. That door right there, it can just be closed when you go up to it. But we're good. Yeah, so we just have to do this quest where we talk to everybody right here.
And then shortly, she will get the chance of choosing one of 3 houses. This one we will be running Blue Lions. The others you have Black Eagles and Golden Deer.
We're picking Blue Lions because it's the best. Objectively.
Objectively.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for most of this run, we're going to use mostly just Byleth and also Dimitri, their house leader, because both of them are very good.
So here shortly, she'll be doing a rather large menu. But this being on New Game Plus, we also get a lot of the battalions that we've had through previous runs. We can also set different things like support levels, skill levels, things like that, which we will use throughout the remainder of the run. It also comes with the DLC, which we will use a item called the Chalice of Beginnings, which allows whoever's holding it to hit anybody for, well, if they get attacked from, say, 4 tiles away and you normally have a physical unit that can only attack from 1 tile away, they can now retaliate and hit from wherever, regardless.
And as you can
Which will
see,
come in handy.
Greta's getting all these abilities set up with her amazing amount of renown, like over 500,000 points. That's like, a casual amount. And this basically allows her to just like become god right from the get-go of the game. Gets all like the crazy skills and weapon ranks and support levels that just beef everybody up. And she also gets the, like Razor said, the battalions. And battalions are super sick too, because like with the higher level ones, you get like boosts to all your stats, and you also get gambits. Although I don't know if that's going to be used, but the stat boosts are really good. So yeah,
we will use gambits, yes. We'll use a dancing battalion, which allows us to move again after it's used. And then we'll use the stride, which allows us to move further rather than our traditional base movement.
Now that that's done. Yeah, that menu is huge, but it saves us a ton of time.
Yes, it does. It's also the largest menu in the game.
Mm-hmm. We have one more after this, and then there's kind of another one later.
Yeah.
But I feel like that one's the hardest, the chapter 16 one.
I completely agree.
Yeah, you'll see.
Having run this, I completely agree. But no, so traditionally, we have one extra person that we have to recruit before chapter 3. That person being Lysithia, because when we recruit her, she'll come with a base of 12 magic, which we need when she uses warp, which we can get into later in the run.
Warp is really, really good.
Yeah, it kind of
It's
used
busted.
the whole you have to only kill the boss for a majority of the chapters in this game. Well, warp is just, it basically allows you to teleport a unit a certain amount of spaces based on how much magic the user has, and yeah, that kind of just like you warp next to the boss and then bye level beat, and there you go.
It takes the magic stat and divides it by 4, and that's how many tiles you can move. No, it divides it by 3, sorry. So she can now warp 4 tiles, which is exactly what we need in a... I do believe it's chapter 6, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm. So Greta, why are we using a net for this chapter?
Well, So as you saw, I actually just removed everybody's weapons except for Violet. And some of these people like to not die, so we're going to use her to get rid of anyone that's left. And she also has a few different really, really good rallies that you saw that are like exclusive to her, or like almost exclusive to her. So you'll see later, we're going to use her to rally a lot and get our stats higher.
Yeah, rallies are basically just stat buffs directly to another character. That's how they work.
Mm-hmm.
And they work for that one turn, not throughout the entire map.
Yeah, yeah.
But those will be used a lot for sure. Also, because Annette's a fantastic character.
Exactly.
She's
That's the
wonderful.
real reason. We just like her.
She's simply super.
Mm-hmm. Alright, yeah, so what we're doing here, we're just taking out everybody, basically, that are the other students. This is just a mock battle, so we're not, like, actually killing them. Not yet, sadly. Yeah,
Keyword
so
yet.
we just take everyone out.
God, I
Yeah,
wish
easy.
Hanneman stayed dead. Excuse me. Sorry.
Oh no.
Wow.
The lists do get better. This beginning part, there's like a lot of stuff going on.
Is indeed. So there are going to be two stats that we need to focus on primarily early on, because there is a base growth stat, which is a percentage chance of gaining a level in that stat on each level up. So we need a... So we'll pay attention roughly to Violet's strength and speed specifically early on.
Yeah, strength can be really, really important. Because if you don't get good growth on it, you're basically just not going to kill things, and that's kind of a problem. I do have an extra file in case things go really badly, then we can swap to that one and make sure we
Which
don't just
hopefully they
lose.
Which can unfortunately happen.
I've been there.
Bad RNG growths are a thing sometimes, and it's a nightmare. But
Definitely.
that's the perks of speedrunning. The other thing is with speed is so attack speed is based off of your speed, your strength, and your weapon weight. And as long as your attack speed is 4 higher than the opponent, you will hit twice as opposed to once. Or if you're using a weapon like a brave weapon that automatically hits twice, you'll then quad hit. Which there are maps that will require us to hit at least twice in order to get the kill. So we need to make sure that we have enough speed and strength to be able to do so.
Stay focused.
And this battle that we're doing, it just requires you to do it so you like know how to play the game. It's just a practice battle, so we're just gonna kill everything here with Violet.
Yeah, the whole like first couple months of the monastery stuff is just, you know, baby game. It's gonna teach you how to do stuff, and
Oh,
it's
this
all
guy will
automated,
die.
so it's pretty boring.
Mm-hmm. Strength is looking decent.
How much speed do you need?
But that depends on your strength level, but
Yeah.
ideally between 24 to 26 speed.
Mm-hmm.
But you're typically getting to that point by the time I think we're level 32, is it?
Something
Somewhere
like that,
around
yeah.
So we have a really decent chance.
Yeah, through most of this, we are just going to skip like everything in the month. So we're not gonna actually sit here and like teach everyone.
No.
Yeah, and you'll see in a second here, we're actually gonna have to kill off like almost everybody because they just take up time, which it's really sad. Yeah, so here's that gender-locked class. We're gonna fly around on a Pegasus.
Pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Males unfortunately have to wait until the advanced class to even get on a flyer, which is
Yeah.
why we use the female byleth to
Mm-hmm.
allow us to get onto a flyer right out the gate. Also because female byleth is superior.
Frog superiority.
Alright, yeah, so now we're just gonna have to kill everybody off, which is why I took away their weapons before. We don't want to kill Annette, though. That's not what I want to do.
No.
There we go.
Annette will be staying around. We will also keep Lysithia, not that we have her just yet, because we can't recruit just yet. But as we started on this on Classic, which means every unit that dies remains dead throughout the remainder of the run.
Yeah,
So
they're gone
units
for
that we
good.
won't- Yes.
Yeah, so like this character-driven story game where like you care about all your characters and stuff. We don't really care about that. They're just all gonna like kind of just die instantly. Yeah, we don't really care about them. They all suck.
Yeah, no.
Okay, we're good.
We're gonna sit here and wait for them to die. It's so sad. But they waste a lot
The
of time
reason
for
we
us
do that-
if we keep them, because they're gonna talk to us and be like, "Can I change my class?" and like all this stuff.
Yeah, imagine teaching. We can't do that.
Right? Even though we're technically a professor, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
We profess in speed.
Yeah, strength is looking good.
Yeah, string's looking really solid. That's a really good level up right there. 19 speed already. We need 26 minimum. We're looking fine. Ideally, you get higher, but
See if Lysithia is gonna join our class. I don't have high hopes here.
Is it an RNG chance for her to want to join at
Yeah.
any point? Okay.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, so if she doesn't join here, we're just gonna go run all the way over to her and ask her. Which obviously wastes a lot of
It's-
time, but
It does waste a little bit of time, but she almost always just joins automatically.
I
don't know
kind of
about
like that,
always.
honestly. Time lost depending on how Lysithia's feeling that day. That's
She's-
pretty in character.
She's favored to join you, but sometimes you have to go right to her.
like right now.
This was one of the rare ones, but thankfully she's always at the same place in this chapter.
She's like the farthest away she could be, though.
always the farthest
Unfortunately,
away,
yes.
Alright. Am I going right? Wait, no, it's this way. We have to
So
go
since
all the way
Lysithia
across this
didn't
bridge.
join us, now we get to backtrack and find her.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm gonna go set her stats too. Yeah, so all the stat stuff I did like way beforehand, and then it like saves it.
Yep.
Right. Good to go. Yeah, so now that everyone's gone, there's a lot less that we have to sit through here. Even though you can see Felix still standing there. He's dead, but he's also still there.
He's haunting Dimitri.
hmm Yeah, so now they won't ask us questions or anything like that.
Thankfully. We have done that before where we went through without doing that, and that's just pain. It takes forever.
From now on, we're done with all the tutorial stuff, so we're just gonna skip right
Yeah.
to the mission.
So as you can see, like that month went by a hell of a lot faster than the last one, just because of all the things we set up and didn't have to do a bunch of mandatory stuff.
Yeah, it's all the setup prior to the run that takes a bit, and then once you get into the flow of all the different fights, things go really quick, really fast.
hmm
Because a lot of these maps will literally take out in 1 to 2 turns, maybe 3 or 4. Exception, well, there's a couple exceptions. There will be a couple maps that take a little bit longer, but that's just inherent.
So this map, we got good old 38 hit times 4 Catherine, our #1 employee. Unfortunately, I don't know if she's going to do much this map because we're going super fast, but in casual play, she's pretty funny in this level.
Catherine's busted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you saw a second ago, I was able to move like really far. That's Stride Battalion, which comes in handy a lot.
Yeah, Stride is like +7 movement for the turn.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so you're
really
flying
insane.
around and you have extra movement.
Yeah.
You're going.
And then later we get Warp, which like stacks with Stride, so you can warp and then still
Mhm.
have your Stride movement. So yeah, it gets kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
Yup. We cheese a lot of these maps.
Mhm.
We take advantage of the different gambits that we have to make the maps go extremely fast. So maps that casually you might struggle with sometimes, we beat them in a turn or two
Yeah.
without blinking an eye. It's insane.
Professor. Am I making? Aha!
On this one, we're going to see the Dance Gambit in action. It just
My
lets you
favorite
move
gambit.
like another time, which is super helpful.
I love the dance gambit. It's so nice. Which is hilarious because you can get, well, you do get a dancer during the actual casual playthrough of the run. We won't in here because we don't want to waste the time to do it. But the dance ability basically gives you infinite dance gambits throughout every map, long as that unit is on the map. But why do that when we can just use the dance gambit and just
Stay
go?
focused.
Also allows you to use any unit as a dancer regardless.
So this is another map where it's like there's this this secondary objective of like, oh, the Death Knight's so scary, you stay away from him, and it's just like, yeah, please, we're just right past him immediately. So there's that.
Another another perk of dance is we go right by him, quickly dance, go again, and kill the boss. Super
Oh yeah,
easy.
and then from that level we got the Sword of the Creator, which is just, you know, the Fire Emblem sword that is signatured in Smash for that character, like there are, you know, 7 different ones. That one's the Sword of the Creator for Byleth. So I don't know, are you gonna use it before time skip?
We do, yeah. We used it a couple times. It has 2 reach, so you can actually hit while you're still another space away, which is really helpful.
Yes.
It's also just good.
Very good. Especially after post time skip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yes, we will use it a couple times. Primarily, we're going to use bows on Byleth. And then
Mhm.
Dimitri will primarily use axes with his signature lance later on.
I have a question.
Yeah, so
Yeah, we're
axes are
actually-
like probably. Oh, sorry, you want to go?
No, we're actually going to use that sword in a second here on this fight.
Oh, sick.
Hmm.
So axes are probably the best weapon type in this game overall, but for the speedrun, I mean, they do the most damage, so that's one really important thing. But another really important thing about them is that for one of the only male flying class you can get, which is Wyvern, Wyvern Rider or Wyvern Lord, either of those two, you need really good axe rank proficiency. So that's what Dimitri's going to be going for here. Even though like he actually doesn't have a very good rate in axe rank gain because that's like part of his whole character or whatever. But we're gonna ignore that because he needs to get on that dragon thing and he's gonna go fast.
Which is actually what we set in the early menu in game. Is we set his axe skill way high.
Well done.
Oh,
Alright,
yeah.
here's our first use of warp. So we're just going to teleport over this impassable wall. Not very impassable.
Stay focused.
Because you can actually do that. Normally, you'd have
Yeah.
to go completely around this area here.
Dude, this map
And
is
then go up?
so bad. Oh my god, I hate playing this map every time.
Yeah, we don't have
And
to
we
deal with
literally
that.
cheese this map in no time flat. It actually really easy once you know how to do it.
Yeah, so this is the first instance of fighting a demonic beast. They're basically just like big boss enemies that you need to break their shields so that you can like do good damage to them and stuff. And like they encourage you to use gambits to like break them and whatever. They're pretty slow.
Thank you.
Which is also why we're able to hit twice on every hit here with Byleth and completely destroy.
Yeah.
Also, great level up there.
We're doing good.
We are already.
Oh,
Look
I
at
always
23
forget.
strength.
Yeah, these 2 cutscenes you can't actually skip. And I always forget. I don't know why.
It's
And
like you
then I'm,
make
like,
like a
shocked.
choice or something, right? Because like you can either get the Lance of Ruin or not here. And so like
Yeah,
you don't
for
want to
this
skip
we
that.
actually can't because Sylvain is dead, so we can't take his lance without him.
What is Ghost can't walk up and like do anything about it? No? Okay.
No.
Rip Sylvain. Love the guy though.
Yeah, so in those cutscenes that we can't skip, we're going to try to say things that won't make them love us, which I kind of didn't do. But the little support point thing that pops up, it wastes some time. So we want to say things that they're not going to like, and then they won't do anything.
It just saves a couple seconds on each time,
Hmm.
which is helpful. Because
All
that
our
adds up
students.
throughout the run.
Yeah.
Aha.
That is one of my favorites because it's just it's so
nice.
good. Yeah, so we're gonna pull another one of those passing a wall that it literally states it cannot be passed, but we're doing it anyway.
Correct. Because warp is completely broken.
Hmm.
And fun fact, warp can only be learned by a handful of characters in the game,
I think
including
4?
Lysithia, Happy from the DLC,
Manuela
Linhart.
and Linhart.
and Manuela,
Yeah.
yes.
That's all of them.
And Lysithia, outside of Happy, has the highest magic stat in the game.
Leave it to me.
Happy we could do, but it takes time to go grab her.
Yeah, we have
Because
to
she's
like
in the
walk
DLC.
down and get her.
So we just simply use Lysithia because it's a lot faster.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's that chapter done. Took like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
In a map that would otherwise usually take casually probably what, 30, 45 minutes at least?
Yeah, something like that. Alright, here's another one we can't skip. This is the last one.
This is where we
And our
get
friend
Flame,
Flame here
right?
is joining. Yeah.
Do we use Flame, or is she gonna die instantly?
No, we do use
we will
her.
use her.
Oh, nice. Wow. I didn't expect that.
We will use Flame. Because it gives us an extra unit to use gambits.
Ah.
Mm.
And then we will also use Sedith post time skip.
Yeah, Sedith is cool because he comes with the Wyvern Rider class, so he's just already good out of the gate automatically.
We actually set him on a horse.
Oh. Well, that's
For
cool
some
too.
of it. Yeah, for some of it. Because you can't
For
really
some.
use many gambits while you're on a wyvern, but
That's
you can on a
true,
horse.
exactly.
So yeah, he comes with both of those classes already, so we just swap it.
Which
You
is
see.
extremely handy, instead of having to automatically class him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can be really bad. There's a couple times where you have to class people, and if you forget, well, tough.
You're done.
Yeah, I in my notes I highlight it and bold it, and sometimes I still miss it. So
We had to highlight and bold that. There was you and I have both forgotten so many times.
yeah.
Mainly on chapter 14.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we won't do that. It's gonna be fine. Everything's fine.
Here is where we run into the practice battle, well, the mock battle.
Yeah, this is like a big whole school-wide tournament thing. Like the game hypes up throughout the first part of it. And this one's actually pretty cool as a map because you're actually not fighting against just one army but two. So it's can get kind of crazy. Although I mean, probably not going to be that big of a deal for the speedrun god.
Stay focused.
No, so this is actually where this is where we start to use Flame, and she'll be our primary stride user.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason she moved a little bit farther right there is so that she can get within range and automatically bait the flying units off to the right so that they don't head down and take out the rest of your units.
Yeah, and if you've seen, we've been using auto battle a couple times. That basically it just moves everybody without me physically going and moving them, so that saves time.
Well done. Here goes. Thank you.
And thankfully, auto battle usually puts them all in the same spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll see a couple times I'm gonna move units around before the battle even starts. That's so they will go to the right spot.
Correct.
Whenever I do that.
Another.
So the remainder of this is literally just take out as many units as we can until both Claude and Edelgard fall. Well, actually, no, we actually take out everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some variation on this map because obviously these AI they can do whatever. So
Yep.
you kind of have to adapt to that in the moment.
But in the meantime, we probably have time for a couple donations.
This random NPC still alive.
Don't ask me how. I almost never see an NPC still alive at this point. That's so
No.
bizarre.
The last one standing.
That is actually the longest map in the run. because you actually have to take out everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's one of the rare ones.
Since we're playing on normal, a lot of the time we don't really have to do as much as if you're on a higher difficulty, and we also don't lose as easily.
Yeah, losing is not very fast or good.
No.
No. Thankfully, you have something known as Divine Pulse later on.
All right. We like
Which allows
completely
us to
forgot about playing
completely
that.
reset if the one would have died.
Yeah. So like for the RNG stuff that happens later, where like if you can lose if you don't get good RNG in some places, right? Just lose.
Hmm.
Correct.
Yeah. So Divine Pulse is this wonderful mechanic they were introduced in recent Fire Emblem games where you could just like go back because you made a boo-boo or the game was like mean to you, so you could just try again in the actual level itself, not having to reset the whole game to try again. And it's really nice
Correct.
for casual play, but also for speedrun, pretty cool too. You don't gotta go through the whole map again, so.
Which is handy, especially when we can reset the RNG by simply moving to a different tile or doing something completely different, automatically resets the RNG.
Yeah, so hopefully we won't have to use that, but we might.
Ideally,
So.
no, but there are a couple areas later, especially with Hubert on a pain tile. Ugh, cube. Such a nightmare. But we'll get into that when we get to
Yeah.
that map.
They like to put a lot of late game bosses on these tiles that give them like buffs to their stats and stuff, and they're super annoying to like even hit. So they have to be pretty
Because
dumb.
I think he's on a plus 40 avoid.
Yeah, 30 or 40 or something.
It's insane. And I'm like, thank you. Why would you do that to me? It's like, let's rate his avoidance when I just need to take him out quickly.
Yeah. So this map's
'Cause
kind
if
of
you
funny
miss,
because
you're dead.
yeah. This map's funny because you're waiting for this boring and bland character to transform into another boring and bland character so you can actually kill him and win the level. So yeah, that's endearing to me.
Which, spoilers, we don't actually kill just yet.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, but you don't even care because, like, oh, he appears later, and then you actually kill him that time. I'm okay. I didn't care it in the first place. That's cool though.
Excellent.
Yeah, so if you saw, I actually set Violet's birthday to December 1st. It only shows up one time in the entire run, which is good because we don't have to sit through the little cutscene thing there.
Tomas is a sweet old librarian. I mean, he was portrayed that way.
We're gonna basically just sit through a bunch of cutscenes, but we're gonna skip them. But there's like this whole royal ball that goes on.
Yep. And this
So
is
we're
actually where
similar.
you would normally get your dance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your dancer. We
Yeah.
won't.
Well, we're
Because who needs a dancer when you have a dance battalion? Like, come on.
It's true. And like, actually getting the dancers is pretty annoying because you have to like, buff their charm up and stuff to like have a better chance of winning, and then watch the cutscene leading up to it's dumb.
Yep. You need, I do believe it's 13 charm to win it. Which traditionally is more just a... Oh, it's a unique unit.
let us
Not
go.
something you'll use in an actual fight so much as it's just more utility than anything.
Much needed. Stay focused.
Okay.
to me.
So this level's pretty lame because there's a ton of slow enemies to kill, and you have to kill all of them. So yeah, have fun.
Yeah, sometimes Geralt there will actually kill one of them for you, which is very helpful. Hopefully he does that.
Yeah, him and his good old steel lance. That's his best weapon, apparently.
I owe you.
He actually did a lot there by taking out the first full health bar, which meant that we only had to use one shot on him, and the other one was dead.
Oh, this is pretty fast. That was
Yeah,
good.
this is actually going really, really well.
Oh,
Like
I
what I'm
golded.
saying. Let's go.
Yeah, that was really
Marathon
fast.
blood.
That was a really fast chapter.
Mm. Good.
3 turns on that chapter is really, really good. More often than not, you'll find it being 4, depending on RNG. That went really quick. And now we have the fun chapter where we take out Kranya using the gambit that we actually get. So fun fact on this, we actually use a gambit that you get from the Golden Deer run.
Is it
Yeah.
Claude's?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it's super good.
It's super good. But it's kind
Mostly
of annoying
because it
for...
gives you the highest strength boost out of
Yeah.
all the gambits in the game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's kind of annoying for when you're trying to set up your file because you have to play through this game and then you have to play through the Golden Deer also just to get that battalion. But it's way worth it.
Extremely worth it. Because none of the other gambits give enough strength boost to make the rest of the maps reasonably consistent.
Is Dimitri just going to be using his gambit in time skip? The one he comes
Really?
with?
He
Oh wait, he can't
doesn't
because he's going
use
to
a
be
lot
on
of
the
anything.
Wyvern, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much to work with.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so like, we should probably explain this. So, flying battalion or flying units can't use grounded battalions, obviously, because you know they're foot units and they can't go over the terrain that flyers can. So you can only equip flyers with flying specific battalions, which I guess was like a way to balance them, but they're still like far and away the best classes in the game. But
Yeah.
you know, despite that, it can be kind of annoying to equip a flying unit with good battalions because of that.
Rip Kranya.
Yeah, so as you can see here, our hair color is different, which if we just dyed it, obviously. That's definitely what happened.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I love that hair color.
Yeah.
But this
yeah, we
is
got
actually
the-
where we get the better version
Yeah.
of the Sword of the Creator.
I'll get the beefier sword now.
Yep. Fun fact, it's actually lighter now,
Oh, I didn't know that.
which means your attack speed using it is now higher.
Yeah. So for like weight for weapons in this game, there's just like a really, weird calculation the game does. It's kind of annoying to explain, but essentially, the higher strength is the less you're going to be affected by weapons that have higher weight. But that only like comes into play for the late game when your strength is really high. In the early game,
Yep.
it's going to be a lot more based on the weight of the weapon because your strength's pretty low.
Which the weight of the weapon is static, with the exception being Sword of the Creator, which has 2 different versions. But even then, the weight on that is static.
Yeah.
So the only thing that changes run to run will be what your strength is and what your speed is. Which currently our strength is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're good.
I didn't see what the speed is. I'll take a look at that on the next level up, but it should be okay.
So if you saw a second ago, I got a new class on Byleth. So I have to swap out of that so that we can go back to moving across the entire map.
Because otherwise she'd be limited to, I do believe the Enlightened one does 6 movement.
Let us away.
If I'm not mistaken.
Thank you.
I think
Yeah,
it's 6.
5 or 6.
Whereas the unit she has now has 8,
Leave it to me.
which is extremely helpful. And now to take out the Flame Emperor.
Except not really.
So this is pretty much where the time skip happens.
After this battle that we're about to do here. It's also where Sedith joins us. So he's gonna start fighting alongside us now.
Which is extremely helpful, and we will take advantage of that throughout the remainder of this run. Primarily
he's
because he
asking me a
already gets
question.
good unit, like good movement.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and every time we skip through like the entire month, it automatically chooses rest on the days that we would be able to like go explore or whatever. And that repairs the sword that we've been using. So that's why it never runs out.
Thankfully. The rest of them, they will.
Yeah, I already broke my iron bow a second ago. Or like at the very beginning I broke it on accident. It's okay. Yeah, everything
It's
gets
fine.
repaired after the time skip, so that's nice at least.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
so
we'll
when a
use
weapon
more.
breaks, yeah.
Yeah, we'll use more Dimitri late game anyway.
Whoops. I keep doing that. See, the button that you use to like skip things is also a button that makes you zoom in, and when you're me and you spam click everything, it can be a problem.
Hey, there's this super cinematic like view you can take in this game where you can like be super close up and have it be like realistic proportions, and it looks so funny. It's like I don't know why they included it, but it's so funny, so I like it.
Okay, 28 speed. Well, 28 attack is really good. Well, strength's good. 22 speed is a little low.
You fought well.
Not ready for that. I'm not used to the load going quickly. Yeah, so here's the time skip. Basically, it's within the story, it skips 5 years ahead. So now we're like in full-on war, and everybody looks different, as you just saw. Poor Dimitri lost his eye. He's okay.
I actually like him post time skip.
I like his hair being long.
the character development throughout all of these routes is insane. This game was so well done.
And thankfully, we also get to get the units we've also been using in pre-time skip again. So Annette and Lysithia, we get to see them. Hella cute.
Yo.
Yeah, so as you saw, we got thrown into this battle here. Which, I mean, saves us time, I'm not complaining. And this is where all our units actually come back to like help us. They're like, oh hey, you guys are here! And we're not really gonna see that because we're going too fast, but they come back. Yeah, there's Gilbert, who's also gonna
Oh,
join
yeah.
us here.
He's a dude. He's a dude.
He's just a random guy that was like on the street. We just found him.
I don't know where he came from at all.
Yeah, Gilbert will come in handy a little bit.
Yes,
Kind
he
of.
will.
He's just good to have another thing to use Gambits.
It'd be nice if his authority was actually a tad higher base.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's not.
Oh, I also golded again. I just noticed that. Exciting.
We've got some god gaming.
Okay, so this next map we will actually use a lot of... We'll use both Byleth and Dimitri. And this is where we'll actually use Gilbert right out the gate to help stride. And because he's bulky. And now Dimitri flies. So helpful.
He's become one with the clouds.
Yeah, so we're actually going to see Dimitri being used more now. He kind of just sat there for most of the beginning.
Yep. Post-time skip, you use more Dimitri than you do Byleth.
By a lot, yeah.
Do you like get any levels on Dimitri at all?
It automatically gives him levels at the time skip,
Correct.
Oh, that's nice.
which
Does
is
he
why
get,
he's at 20.
Does he get
We're
base
able
stat
to-
buffs too? Oh yeah, he does,
I
right?
think
Because
so,
he
yeah.
gets a new class, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's my strategy?
That's
So you
nifty.
automatically have your own base stat growth and then class growth on top of that.
Yeah, class
Which
growths
is-
are super nice.
This quick.
Yeah. Super helpful. We actually killed a unit with Lysithia.
She's doing
Yeah.
big things.
Yeah, so in a second here, we're actually going to use Lysithia to warp that ally over there. Because we have to set up a trap.
So the reason she dismounts here is because a lot of these units coming up will have bows which do extra damage to flying units. So she dismounts so she can take the hits better. Also, by the way, Greta, you had 23 speed at that point with 30 strength. So strength's fantastic. One more speed and we're good.
Yeah. All right.
All right, we're good. "30 strength by this point is actually really high.
Like, that's crazy. I think it's a
That's really
31,
good.
actually.
Yeah,
Crazy.
the higher strength means you don't have to worry about as big of a speed. Well, you don't have to worry about your speed near as much, although you still do.
Yeah. And it's super
'Cause-
important, your strength on the chapter after this one.
Correct.
Because you don't actually use Byleth to attack at all on this chapter. Only Dimitri, so you're stuck with what you have.
Yeah, Ladislav is the biggest problem.
Yeah, you'll see.
So this next chapter is where we actually really start to cheese the map.
Mm-hmm.
Which is it? Is it the big
Gwendol.
bridge?
No,
Yeah.
this is the...
Oh,
so-
it's the volcano one.
Yes.
Yeah, ALL.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
ALL.
so we're going
the
to
Valley of
chain
Torment.
dance on this. So we're just going to dance, and then we're going to dance again, and we're just going to move across the entire map.
Yup. With a number of different gambits so that we can literally get through and take it out in one turn, which, given the
Yeah.
movement, is insane.
That's gonna start being a pattern here for these later maps.
Yes, it is.
It's pretty funny. You'd think it'd get harder because, it's a late game, but since it's the late game, we're also stronger ourselves and we can abuse all the stuff we have even harder. So it just gets out of control.
It's actually a lot of fun.
Don't do that.
When
This
I
is not
first
the right
did
thing.
this map, it took me forever. I didn't realize that, wait, you can actually beat this in one turn? That's insane. So the reason we move these units up like this is so that we actually have them in a spot there where they can actually use their dance gambits at a specific tile location to allow us to get through in one turn.
Yeah, so now we're going to dance these two, and then we're going to dance again with Violet here. And then we're just all the way over here already.
Yep, just bypass all the enemies, take out Gwendol, and you're done. Ooh, it took a brave. Wow.
So now we have Dimitri's signature lance there, Aradbar. We use it a couple times, depending on what happens.
Couple, more often than not, he'll stick with the axes.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily the silver because it weighs less. And still hits hard.
So this map is what we were talking about earlier, where there's just a huge menu you have to do. I don't don't know why I moved like that. It's fine.
So with that, Dimitri gets another auto class, and now we have to class him back again to a flyer. The couple times though, you have to do that throughout the run.
Hopefully this
Well worth.
some new
Alright, so here's the bridge level I was thinking of.
You were
This is another one of those another one of those gotta kill multiple what are they called? Generals, yeah.
Yes, there are
Enemy
several of
commander.
them. You'll have Akiron, Ladislava, Ferdinand.
Ferdinand and Lorenz.
Correct.
That's 4, wow. I forgot about Acheron because he's Acheron.
Yeah,
He just kind of appears out of nowhere and then dies immediately, so you
he's
don't
just
wanna
kind
care
of
about him.
there. Which is hilarious because unless you do the oh, there's a specific, I don't remember the name for it, but yeah, it's the between Ralph and Ignatz, their specific map. You don't even realize who Acheron is, if I remember right. Wait, is it hit
There's
them or
also
Lawrence?
Lorenz's map too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Otherwise, you don't even know who he is throughout.
Are we good? Oh wait, this is important. There we go. Now we're good.
So the reason we give him a training bow there is so that we can use a bow to reach a unit later on and kill him in one turn instead of 2.
Onward.
to come.
I'm your girl. Well done.
I'll comply. Guide me well.
What's my strategy?
Not bad.
She also gave everybody retribution, so now everyone can hit in a retaliation regardless of how many tiles away they are, which is extremely helpful.
Yeah, Retribution's pretty good.
It's busted. And now we get more units. Yay. Bye, Ferdy.
To a potent. As they it's a
There's that. I gave Sedith that Brave Lance because I don't think he can kill with like anything else. Not that I know
No,
of.
he can't. He
And
needs
we
the brave.
I think we do have one like in our convoy, but it's just faster to buy for him because we're already in there to buy him a shield.
Correct. You need the brave with him because he has to double hit and he's not fast enough to do so.
Yeah.
And brave weapons automatically hit twice. All the shields just become a giant turtle. That map was fun.
Is that
So for this map, we're actually going to go back to the same place that we were at for Chapter 7. Except we don't have to kill everyone this time, thankfully. I really like this one, it's cool.
It is a really good map. Okay, they all are.
Well, yeah.
It's Fire Emblem. They're great.
Yeah, so you'll see in a second why I moved those guys. I really like how we do this. You'll see in a second here. But basically, we are going to use the auto battle thing again.
thank you.
And I don't know how to do this. Okay. And we're going to move everybody to the exact spot where we need them to be.
Normally this map would take a lot longer, but the fact that we can use dance gambits and everything makes things extremely fast.
Oh my god, the noise she made. That was interesting.
That was interesting.
The noise that came out of my Cynthia. Okay. Anyways. Okay.
So the goal on this map is we literally just have to take out the two commanders, being Claude and Edelgard. Which, fun fact, we don't actually kill them.
No one dies unless it makes sense for the plot.
Exactly.
Correct.
They just disappear into nothingness. And then they're still alive. They just disappear.
They
No,
teleported
they were
away.
just severely wounded, so they ran away. They're like, I'm retreating. Goodbye. I can't do this.
After all those complicated battles, we just have a nice, easy one coming up.
Yeah, a lot of the last couple maps are pretty simple.
Mm.
Exception being the last one, but even that one's not terribly difficult.
I'm up. That. It seems
well, we're
very well.
Alright, so we're just gonna do like a good old-fashioned stride and then dance and get to the end. Super nice, super easy.
Rip Cornelia.
Who? All I see
Nobody
is another.
important.
All I see is another stride warp victim.
Right? During the casual playthrough, you'll learn a bit more about her, but we're speedrunning. Since when do we care about the background of it?
My orders.
I'm great.
Leave it to me.
Let's make
This will be another case where we use warp to go over a impassable wall. We're down to the last 3 maps. No, 4 maps. Is it 3?
Well, I guess it kind of.
It is
counting.
4.
Counting is weird
Yeah, I
You
mean,
still
like,
have
the last
Arn,
map
because
still
we're
good.
on 19, but also we haven't
Yes.
done it yet. So like,
After Arndel, then we have the Death Knight cube, and then
don't spoil it. It's a secret.
What do you mean it's a secret?
It's a
Who the hell is
speedrun.
watching this with a story, dude?
Right?
You'd be insane to like, oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens next. How are they gonna strangle the next person? Who's it gonna be?
All the more. Hopefully this.
No, for anybody who has never played this game before, I would highly recommend it. It's such a good game. Don't ruin the surprise for me
And you
yet.
know what? Yeah, your experience is not ruined because there are 3 whole other routes you can do.
Yeah,
There are,
there you go.
They
including
may not be
the
as
church
good,
route,
but
which
they
I don't ever
exist.
recommend because church route.
My orders.
Another case where she moves the units in a specific spot so that they end up where we want them to be.
Yeah, because we have to make sure that they can reach where we need to go.
Correct.
What am I doing? Okay. There we go.
Let's make this quick.
So a clear path there for our units to get through.
Thanks for that.
Oh, forgot you have Kanto. Okay.
That dance battalion is so good.
Our friend Claude here is gonna give us his bow, which is nice of him.
Do we use
We
it?
will use on Byleth.
Wow.
I mean, not really, but we still use it.
It has 3 range, which is nice.
Yeah.
Correct. And it's also much more powerful than the other bows.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly more accurate. Mostly because with it you get a specific combat art that allows your hit to be higher. Which, if needed, comes in handy on the upcoming, well, 2 maps from now. Because the unit will be on a 40 avoid tile, which is a pain in the neck sometimes.
All that work.
It's actually really cool. You'll see, we're basically just gonna do a whole dance chain to get all the way to the end.
Yeah, this map was fun to route. This one was fun to route.
Fun to play. I like it.
It is.
Except for like when you miss and then get crit by the Death Knight and then you die. That doesn't happen very often though. It's okay.
Yeah, that's rare. Because you've got like a 90-ish hit rate on him.
I was
99,
so
5, somewhere in
confused.
there.
Okay.
My orders.
I'm grateful. I'm your girl. Onward. Apologies. Let's make this quick.
Leave it to me.
What's my strategy?
Yeah, so now we're gonna dance all these guys, and then we're gonna clear this path,
Thanks.
and then we're gonna dance again.
Quite helpful. He-
Nothing like taking on a long map short.
He got pretty owned, I must say.
A lot of dancing and then 2 strides. Because who needs more movement? So this upcoming fight, we actually have to make sure that Seta survives. Because he does have the chance that he does end up dying, and we have to have him on the final map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the second to last map here.
Correct. And if Seth dies here, then we will have to use Divine Pulse and reset the RNG.
Yeah. Yeah, this one actually used to be a lot worse than it is now. We used to just pray that Seta doesn't die, and we still have to do that, but we also are able to use a battalion that gives him +6 defense, and then we're also using another one that gives +4. So we went from +4 to +10 now. And he can still die, but it's a lot less likely. Which, thankfully, because as much as I love all my runs dying at the very end.
No, we don't get that enough through the Pokemon runs at all, do we?
Oh, I did not mean to do that. Whoops.
Imagine a run dying right at the end after an hour in.
Is that the one?
No, props to you for figuring this out, though, because you made this map so much more consistent.
I don't know how much credit I can take, because literally it was like I was scrolling through my gambits. I was just scrolling through and reading them. I was like, oh, hey. It's not that impressive.
Apologies. Thanks. My orders.
What's my strategy?
And prior to you figuring that out, this map was a nightmare.
It was. Yeah, I've seen him die like probably twice, 3 times, as opposed to like a ton, like most of the
Yeah.
time. So we're
This
doing
map's
good.
probably pretty annoying because Dimitri's all the way on the other side, right?
Yeah, we don't do anything with him.
Yeah,
All right,
that's the problem.
didn't die.
So we also unequip his weapon there specifically so that they actually attack him with their weapons rather than using their gambits, which have a chance to stun Byleth and allow him to not move.
It's
Yeah, gambits are kind of crazy because like the way their accuracy and stuff works, like you could actually just have really good natural avoid, but they still have like 80 hit on you or something. Because it's about
Correct.
like it compares your charm instead of your actual avoid. So
Yep.
that can be really bad.
Getting hit by those is really annoying. So there's a couple maps throughout the run where we will unequip the weapon, which forces it baits the opponents to actually attacking with their weapons as opposed to using their gambits, which they otherwise would use. Because the AI, like the game recognizes that they'd get killed otherwise. And final map. This map here, we don't really care what units die, long as Byleth, Flame, and... Oh, Flame can.
Yeah, no, Flame is fine.
Yep. It's just Byleth and Dimitri that can't.
That is not the thing. Okay, anyways. That was also very smart of me. It's fine. Okay. Now I need you to have this shield. Yeah, because we will lose if Violet or Dimitri die, so we do not want that. Everyone else, they're fine. It's actually really sad because we pulled these guys through this entire war, and then we're like, hey, you guys are dead now at the very end.
Is that the one? Thanks a bunch.
Also give Dimitri and Byleth an elixir here to heal their health if it gets too
Well
low.
done.
Leave it to me.
Let's make this.
Guide me well.
I'm your girl.
Thanks. My orders. Appreciate it. Thanks for that.
What's my strategy?
Thanks.
Yeah, so now we're gonna pull another one of those passing an impassable wall.
Which we do a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cynthia. She's so good.
Yeah, so Dimitri's just gonna take care of that entire throne room worth of enemies just casually.
Yeah,
My
let's
axe.
put him 1v like 20 and watch him just go ham.
He gets like so many levels here, doesn't he?
Yes, he
Yeah.
does.
As you can see, they made Edelgard this like Digimon monster thing because they felt like they needed to do that to make a proper final boss, which that's what they wanted. So I mean, hey, that's what we have.
Correct. And he now has the chalice that Byleth was holding at the beginning, so now he can retaliate and hit right back regardless of how far away he is. So you'll notice Edelgard, the final boss, has 4 health bars, which each health bar gets progressively bigger. Which is kind of insane.
Oh, yeah, that's another positive thing about flyers is that when you're done doing an action, like say like attacking an enemy, you get to the amount of spaces you would have had left to move. You can actually use after that action. It's an inherent ability of mounted classes like flyers and horses and stuff.
Correct.
It's pretty broken.
Known as Kanto,
Yeah.
which is extremely helpful.
Interesting. situation.
Mm,
Be careless.
the axe broke.
Yeah.
Oh. Is the Brave Axe too heavy?
No, it's the uses on it broke. Well, the
Oh.
brave axe didn't. The silver did.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Takes out her. She's now down to her last health bar though. So the brave
We're
should
good.
kill it.
Got him.
Got him.
All right.
Let's go.
Total is gonna end in 1 second here. And end. There you go.
Nice. Good job.
Thank you.
GG.
Yeah, that fight didn't go super great just because, I mean, the axe broke. It was kind of my fault. And
Do you normally
the-
repair it before, or just leave it
No,
up
you
to-
just don't use it as much, so
Oh,
it
okay.
won't break. It's fine though, it still worked out. Yeah, that's that. I really like this run. It's a lot of fun.
It is a fun run.
That was a pretty good run too. That's like sub 125 that's close to your PB, isn't it?
Yeah, my PB is 121.40, I think.
Yeah. Sick then.
So on a marathon run, that's actually really solid.
Yeah.
As he just casually takes a dagger right to his shoulder.
Of course. What else are you supposed
As you
to
do.
Honestly, you probably should have left it in, because there's just
But
gonna
it
be like
needed to be-
blood everywhere
Yes.
now.
You needed to be so cool.
Oh, I guess we did it.
Yeah, it's like over and stuff. Wow.
Crazy.
Such a good run.
Hmm.
Good game. If you haven't played it yet, please do.
Yeah,
Highly recommend it.
definitely. So that's that.
Yeah.
That's 3 houses.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, Greta, for having us.
I agree.
Yeah, thank you guys for running. That was splendid. Appreciate your time. Hope you guys had fun.
We did, yeah.
It's
Or I did. I can't speak for them.
No, yeah, it's okay,
No, I
it's
definitely did.
I had fun.
Well, thank you so much. Hopefully you guys can swing around another time, bring some cool stuff again. That'd be neat. Thank you. Anything you want to say? Closing remarks?
No, thanks to all of you for being here. I appreciate it a lot, and thanks for donating and just being great.
Yeah, we're at $915. That's nuts.
Crazy.
Nearly hit $1,000. A lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
I'm excited.
Right?
Thank you guys. Right, we're probably gonna head to intermission now. So, that'll be that.
Thank you.
Alright, cool.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks, guys. That was great.
All right, what happens now? Are you getting swapped over? Is it Kafka that's taking over?
Yep, it's Kifko taking over.
All right, you'll need
Do we
to
just leave now? It's all good.
Yeah, you're all
you
good.
guys-